The company's president and CEO, Hans-Erik Vestberg, joins us live now from Stockholm. And, well, thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Vestberg. And you do have a very solid position as market leader, don't you? What is the biggest danger to that?
I think if you look in the third quarter, we continue to grow with the mobile broadband and our service portfolio across many of our regions. I think that the number one position that we have in mobile broadband and in services are very important to us, because those are the two areas in the telecom industry that is growing right now.
Interestingly, you had lower gross margin. It sounds like partly that was down to the fact that you were doing more expansions and less new builds. Are we coming to the end of a completely new mobile network build?
I think that what we have talked about for a while, that we have some modernization ongoing in Europe, where it's sort of more coverage. We're doing coverage for mobile broadband networks, and there's more hardware and more pressed prices on that. And at the same time, we actually sell more services, and that's not bad, but they are actually putting a dilutive effect on our gross margin. But bottom line, they are adding equally much as our networks business. So that has added that we're in a phase of much more coverage than capacity, and that's always happened in our technology cycle. So it's nothing strange, but that is pressing our gross margin to come down.
Yes, so from what you're saying, the network modernization projects taking place here in Europe, a drag on earnings for you, because obviously they generate lower margins than actually building new networks. Do you think that that is unlikely to change, that you can expect to feel more of a pinch from Europe going forward, given the macro situation?
I think that what we see right now is a modernization of Europe, of the 3G and 4G networks, because Europe was first out on 2G and 3G, so it's nothing strange. And I think that we all see that the usage with smartphones and all of that is going up, and you and I as subscribers, we want a good service. So I think that's very important in this sector right now, that we see that modernization. And as we have said for quite a while, we target that European modernization to increase our market share, which we have done. But that type of business is a little bit lower margins, and that's why we see our dilution on our gross margin right now. But all in all, it should increase our footprint and market share.
How much of a slowdown are you seeing in North American spending?
I think what we have seen in North America is that we have a very strong position, but the underlying factors of new phones and the use of the mobile networks, that's continuing. But our position is that we are with customers that are both a little bit more cautious on their spending right now for either consolidation or they are changing technology. Nothing changed our market share or something like that, but the US is by far the largest markets we have, so that of course have an impact on our volumes. But again, we have had 6 quarters or 5 quarters of hefty growth in North America, and now we are sort of flat in this quarter. But we have established ourselves on a total different level in North America. But in the second half of 2011, we're going to see some less of investment on networks.
So you are expecting less investment. You're expecting companies to spend less when it comes to this type of infrastructure in North America next year because of weaker US demand. So that is something that you are making plans for.
No, I did not speak about weak demand. I said that there are different reasons for it. There are technology cycles that are ending and starting in North America, and it's consolidation ongoing. And that is meaning that there are some less spending that comes our way. That doesn't mean that the operators are spending. They might spend on other things. The economy as such, I think that what we see is that we have seen an impact from the Southern Europe, the Arabic Spring, etc. But of course, we're very conscious of what's happening around us. So we stay close to our customers to see if they're spending to go down, and we cannot exclude that they might be more cautious. But in the third quarter earnings, it was nothing new compared to previous quarters.
So you're not worried, because as you say, the growth that you've seen in North America has been fairly robust. You're not concerned about that strong trend that's been driven very much by this sort of surging smartphone, mobile internet use. You don't think that trend is petering out in North America?
North America, as said, have had a technology evolution right now, going from 3G to 4G, where we have a large market share and we follow on that. It always comes up and down an investment cycle for our customers. And so it's nothing strange with that. And we will come to a situation where we will be lower spending right now. Then, of course, we're aware what is happening all around us. But right now, the most focus for us with our customers in 180 countries is to be close to them, to understand if they're going to be more cautious on the spending right now due to the economic economical uncertainties.
Now, you've done very well from phone companies in China spending a great deal. That gave a boost to your earnings. And I'm just wondering how much of a competition, or are you expecting competition to be even tougher, particularly from the likes of China's Huawei Technologies, given that many of your rivals are cheaper? Do you think that to maintain your market share, you are going to have to drop prices?
I think that we have been having competition for quite a long time, and the reason is, of course, that we all see the greatness of mobility and mobile broadband. So, of course, that means that we will have many competitors there. We have been living with that competition for several years, so it's nothing new here. So we just need to have the technology leadership that Ericsson have worldwide, the service leadership, and our breadth of the 180 countries we are into. And that's the most important for us. We will have competition for sure, and we know they are doing everything to beat us. But we are number one on mobile networks, and we are number one on telecom services.
Right. Ericsson President and CEO Hans-Erik Vestberg, thanks very much for joining us live from Stockholm.